Dick, would you lead us in our pledge, please?
Would you please join me in honoring our flag and our country? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sarah, would you lead us in word of prayer this morning?
Thank you. Yes. Shall we go to the Lord? Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings that you have given each and every one of us. Lord, we thank you for this nation, this state, and this county. Lord, keep our military safe, our law enforcement safe, our firefighters, our EMTs. Please keep them safe as they go out into our county and do the work that you have assigned them to do. Lord, let us have open ears to hear today and open hearts to understand. And Lord, thank you so much. And to God be the glory. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Cindy, do we have a quorum? Okay, thank you. Motion to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Ezell to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approval of minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the minutes from September 19th, 2024.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Daniels, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, presentations.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this morning we have a certificate of recognition for a young lady who is just an exceptional member of our community. Her name is Carly Rincon, and she was selected as the Chaves County 4-H and FFA Queen for the 2024-2025 year, and she will serve as the ambassador to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair and Rodeo. We have Desiree Ratton here from Roswell Farm and Livestock that has some stuff. Would you like to say a couple of words, Desi, or Okay. So Desiree has the crown and buckle. If you'd come up here, Desiree, and Ms. Rincon, if you'd come up, and the commissioners will present this to you.
They always fit. Eventually, I'm going to take it. Go ahead.
You're a post driver?
I know, right? We only make these crowns on the sides. Good. Good. Present the buckle. If I don't dump it. There we go. Right. All right. Thank you.
Did you need another one?
Yeah. Come get in the middle right here.
Yeah.
There you go. Excuse us.
What day did the agenda come?
From Jessica.
Okay, Annabelle, do you got a few words you want to share with us this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I just wanted to quickly present to you, we have our court compliance team here. We're all here to say thank you for your support in the capital outlay project that was approved for the court compliance relocation and remodel. Just to give you a little history, our officers, there's 3 officers and our supervisor that had 4 offices inside a 300 square foot section. So they were really crowded in there, and so it was really needed for them to have a proper office space. And so this was something that we had proposed in fiscal year 2024's budget, and it was approved. And successfully, it's been now completed. They've officially moved into their new home October 15th. Just to give you also a little information on it, they have about 290 walk-in contacts a month. So that's how many people are coming in and out of those offices. And so sometimes they were even waiting in the hallway to be seen. They were also attending court via web, and so now they'll be able to have the privacy and be able to be compliant when they meet with their clients. So we just wanted to express our gratitude and appreciation to you all for your support on that. And I know the officers, do you want to stand up? These are all our officers, and so they would also like to say thank you, so we appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Pablo with Court Compliance, and I just, me and my officers would just like to personally thank you for giving us that new space that was provided to us. It's going to help us a lot, so just wanted to come and personally come and thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Annabelle. And thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Drew, you and Tamara, y'all got anything y'all want to share with us? And always. That's right.
Always, I'm gonna make him go first. Good morning. It has been a very busy, are we in October still? Yes. It's one of those months. We wrapped up Eastern New Mexico State Fair. On the FCS side, we saw close to 1,300 indoor exhibits from the 4-H kiddos, which is awesome. We saw about 600 kids during Children's Day out there. That was coordinated between FFA and 4-H and the fairgrounds. We are wrapping up the 5210 challenge, the nutrition challenge for the third grade kiddos. We've been in almost every third grade classroom this week. And everything else seems to be going really good. On the docket as far as the FCS side goes, as we announced last month, is the annual Christmas showcase coming up on November the 12th. So we have 2 viewings, 1:30 and 6:30, and we're looking forward to a great turnout for that one. And I'm going to let them share what they got going on.
Thank you, Tamara.
Tamara stole a little bit of my thunder, but that's okay. We've had an awesome Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Great turnout, great community support. We have some incredible youth in this county, which I knew that, but I'm impressed every time I see it. We also have open enrollment starting for our 4-Hers, so that goes on until the spring. But if you know more awesome youth that you could share with us, please do. And of course, thank you for your continued support of them. We ended with over 300 members enrolled this last enrollment season. So we've got lots more, and we're trying to get more programs and in the schools more. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I just want to say that Katie has been a great addition to the team, and she's really hit the ground running, and I really feel like we have a great office going right now, and we're really able to move forward. And I tell you what, Eastern, I was a lot more relaxed this year than I was last year. But that being said, as far as the ag side of things, we've got a few different programs that are coming up. So our annual CEUs for pesticide applicators to maintain their license is on November the 6th. It'll be at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds in Hobson's Hall. So that's, again, November the 6th, and we'll start registration at 8:30, and we'll have our first presenter start at 9 o'clock. And so it will have all 5 required CEUs for pesticide applicators. On another note, gardening at the library this Saturday. We're going to be talking about beneficial insects in your garden. And then following that with more urban horticulture related programming, our master gardeners are going to have an open house. So if you are interested in becoming a master gardener, November the 13th, we'll have an open house at our extension office at 5:30, November the 13th. And then just staying within that lane, on November the 19th at the Civic Center, we will have an Urban Horticulture Symposium where we're going to have
specialists from New Mexico State University come and talk about gardening in New Mexico, specifically tailored towards southeastern New Mexico. And one of the topics that we're going to be bringing forth is our turf grass specialist is going to be talking about water management in turf grass, which is a big topic, especially here in urban Roswell right now. And so we're hopeful that we can give them ways that they can maintain a beautiful yard while being water efficient moving forward. And so those are some of the bigger programs that we have coming up. And so I hope to see you there. We do ask that people register for the Urban Horticulture Symposium, just because we are providing lunch at that program and we would like a head count leading up to it. And so you can find that link on our website at Chaves County Extension or on our Facebook page. And then we're also putting up flyers around that have a QR code that people can register online for that. It is a free event, but we are going to be providing lunch, so we would appreciate people registering for that head count. And so again, that's November the 19th. And with that, I think I'm done for the moment. Are there any questions for me?
Any questions for Drew? Thank you guys for all you hard work you do.
Hey, thank you. We're happy to do it and serve this great county. And so thank you for all you do for us. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Michael Briscoe, did you want to address us this morning?
Sure. Good morning.
Good morning. You was hiding back there. I couldn't see you.
How can you miss them? They're in pink.
Yeah, we're in pink.
You guys look good in pink. That's cute.
Not much from CCDC. Our average count has been over 300 for the last 4 months now. Today's count's 306, not including 7 juveniles. We have some first-line supervisor training coming from Nigel. They'll be down here this next week to train all my lower-level staff, my first-line supervisors, so we appreciate that. I did attend the Nigel conference in Utah last month, and hands down one of the best trainings. I brought a bunch of information back that we could utilize to make our jail better and safer. So that Nigel training was top tier. It was one of the best trainings I've ever been into out of 25 years, so I appreciate that. Our fire marshal inspection from last month, it went great. We have just a few more little minor things we're gonna correct, but all in all, it went really good. And I think we have a couple ceiling tiles to replace and a valve. I think we're done with that. Other than that, that's about all I have from CCDC. Business as usual. Any questions?
Anyone have any questions for Bob? Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Joe West, do you have anything you want?
No, sir, I'm good, thank you.
I'll pick on Joe just a little bit. Angela Moore. Andrew, I'm sorry. I got Andrew.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
Yes.
Sorry.
I have 4 kids. I get called all kinds of names. We have also been busy over at the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, and thank you and good morning to our chairman and commissioners. October, I agree. Is it still October? It feels like it should not be October anymore. We started off the month of October with a ribbon cutting at Frost Giant Games and Lanes. They are on South Main over by where Rugged Trade used to be. And they're a game shop, so if you've got a hankering to learn how to play games, anything from things like Dungeons and Dragons to card games or just good old-fashioned board games, they can help you. The owners even make their own games. So if you go in and start talking to them, you might even learn how to play something that nobody else knows how to play. We also had our first Lunch and Learn. We've brought Lunch and Learns back at the chamber. They haven't been done since pre-COVID. And our first Lunch and Learn was last week on Tuesday. The Spencer Theater came down and did an overview of what this season looks like, as well as all of the things that happen behind the curtain that, you can have tours. They have the kids go up there and do different things. So it was really neat to speak with their new marketing director and see all the wonderful things that you can do in addition to going to a show. And she even gave away tickets to a couple of shows. So if you were fortunate enough to come to our Lunch and Learn, then you may have walked away with some free tickets. And then this week, in fact, today, we've got our second Lunch and Learn. It's actually a reschedule. Rosie Rubio with Suri Consulting is coming and going to teach everybody about leadership skills and kind of go over the DISC personalities. So if anybody has people in their life, which is every single one of us, you should come to our Lunch and learn how to conflict resolution as well as these leadership skills. And our Lunch and Learns are $10 per person if you're a member and $20 per person if you're a non-member. And of course, Gary Thrine, my marketing director, will probably hook you up and you'll become a member pretty darn quickly. This afternoon, we've got the ribbon cutting for SOAR at 2401 Carver Drive, and that's at 5:30. Tomorrow, we have another ribbon cutting. We are full of ribbon cuttings for the rest of the month. Tomorrow at noon, Lone Depot is doing their grand reopening, and they're located at 204 West 2nd Street, Suite 5. And Elliot even has one of his staffers that has become a red coat. Jonathan is one of our newest red coats. So we are so thankful to have Elliot back on board and be doing his ribbon cutting tomorrow. And then Saturday, this is the big one that everybody looks forward to every year. St. Mark's Lutheran Church is doing their grand opening for their pumpkin patch. And as we all know, when you go up north, that green grass turns orange for a couple of weeks. So make sure you come out for the ribbon cutting on Saturday at 10 a.m. And then take away a couple of pumpkins and have your kids, grandkids, and your family paint, carve, and decorate the pumpkins, or even make a couple of pies or whatever. And then on the 23rd, French Brothers is going to do a ribbon cutting with the homes that they have up. I think there's about 10 now that they have built over there in that new subdivision off of Country Club. And on the 23rd, their ribbon cutting will be at noon at the house that is located at 1605 Magnolia. And we have Sam's Club has become a new platinum sponsor. So like I said, Gary Thrine, our membership director, has been out there hustling. And so we've got Sam's Club back. And then everybody is probably getting phone calls from a place called Lunar Cow. They are, in fact, legitimate. We are redoing our map. When I was looking at the map that we have currently at the office, the map was done, I think, back in 2018. So we definitely need to update our map, especially in lieu of all the wonderful things that are getting ready to happen in Roswell in 2025. So if you're interested in advertising on the paper map, Lunar Cow is a legitimate business and that we've partnered with to do our maps. They also have a fantastic digital version, and that's why we chose to go with Lunar Cow. Anybody that advertises on the paper map will also get a digital map ad. But if you don't want to be on the paper map, you can still just do digital map, and every one of our members does get a spot on the digital map, whether they pay for an ad or not. And with that, I stand for any questions.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions, comments? Thank you.
Oh, and I did want to say we are in the process of getting our audit done. We are out for RFP as we currently speak, so we are in the process of that. We were doing that last month as well, and I forgot to mention that because that's very important within our bylaws.
Am I speaking at the chamber in November?
No, you
Okay.
are not.
Okay, thank you. I want to be prepared if I am.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Kind of left myself open for that, didn't I?
I mean, if you want to come talk, we can always, I love having you come talk because you always bring some kind of history or tidbit and then open it up for questions.
Well, I'm not asking for for a talk, just if I am, be sure I know. So that
Oh,
I can-
absolutely.
So I can find that historical fact.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Spiritu.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Great day in Chaves County. So a few things that's going on. And, you know, built-wise, modular housing, most of you have been out there. Pretty excited about where that's headed. Their LEDA package is pretty much done with the city. So that's $400,000 and for 300 jobs. So their average starting wage is about $22 an hour. So pretty good boost in our economy, especially in job creation, but also great for the Western United States and all the things that are happening with housing. There's still still a delay with FAA on the release for the land sale. I know that Mayor Jennings reached out to Senator Lujan's office and others at the federal level to kind of help stimulate that. And I also spoke with Senator Lujan's office, our field representative, and asked them to inquire what else is going on, because that's the only thing holding up their continued expansion out of that building. So we look forward to hopefully seeing that move forward sooner than later. Red Mountain Arsenal, you're familiar with that project. You know, they had some tremendous difficulties with some legislation that passed by our State Department and at the federal level. And when I contacted Senator Lujan's office, they quickly got on that and they resolved that. Believe it or not, pretty shocking to me that they got it done so quickly. But as a result, looks like the Red Mountain Arsenal has secured a multi-million-dollar contract with Saudi Arabia. As a result, also, there's an opportunity for another country to have a like contract in the very near future. So Red Mountain Arsenal appears to be moving forward on their ability to do on their sales, so they can get back into full production. So that's good news. We appreciate Constance Williams. I think you know Constance from Lujan's office. She's been exceptionally great in helping us with that. You probably want to know about what's going on with the Reno air races, and so let me kind of bring you up to date. We just returned. There was a big team of us that went to the air show last week, and the reason we went was to learn and create our transitioning piece for their transition team. Learn and get down here and get to work. We learned a lot of good things, a lot more things that we didn't know, because the last time we went, we were there. I was recruiting. Well, now we're in the process of transitioning. So it was really good, from food service to emergency services, fire safety, everything. It was a really good event in that regard. We learned a lot. We've had several teams here from Reno. We have one coming in again next week. And what they're here for is to work that transition. You've probably heard the grandstands approved by the city, $3 million. And just for clarification, I know that you know this, but for the public to know that $3 million doesn't come from the city of Roswell. That's the $3 million that came, $2 million that came from the governor's office last year, and $1 million from our state lawmakers in our districts here in southeast New Mexico that contributed to that $3 million to help pay for those grandstands. It just happened to be a coincidence, it's the same number. But the city is not paying for that at all. It's coming from those state capital outlay dollars. And so that's working. We appreciate Bill, county manager, about the work towards improving the facility, the grounds, so we can move those grandstands forward. We are still hopeful they'll be done in plenty of time. And so the city has awarded that contract, so hopefully the vendor is doing what they need to do to get it going. So a pretty big step. So the dates are official for next year. So the PRS, and I always call it different things, but the real name for PRS is the Pilot Racing School. Excuse me, Pylon, I don't know. I call it so many different things. But PRS, okay, it's going to be in May. It's a new course. FAA has blessed the course recently, and because it's a new course, every pilot has to come here to be recertified. So we're talking well over 100 plus pilots, crew, family, friends, and so forth. In May, dates are the 18th to the 23rd. That's the dates we'll actually be flying. They'll be here again next week, and we're talking with the university. create the agreements with our landowners and with also the university to use classroom space for PRS. Why is that important? Because they all have to do that again to be able to race in September. So the race dates in September are September 10 through 14. We anticipate we'll see pilots arrive as early as the 3rd-ish of September, and they'll be here probably a few days after the 14th. 14th is a final race day. It's a Sunday, and that's the finals. So that's a big race day. Most of them will leave Monday or Tuesday the following week. Logistics on both sides of it, this is going to be significant, and it always is. Even in Reno, we're going to see a lot of folks here well before the 3rd and well after the 14th to wreck the city and pull the city down, if you will. So we're pretty excited about that. I think we're on a good path forward, and hopefully with next week when we see those folks here, I think we'll continue on that pathway. Another big piece to that, to the race piece, is a funding we received from the state. As you may or may not be aware, we worked with the state folks. In fact, it was Senator George Munoz that supported a bill last year that pushed $1 million toward air shows in New Mexico. Because of that bill, the RARA folks and the mayor and myself and others went there, and they are receiving $700,000 of that $1 million for the marketing efforts to bring that event here to Roswell and Chaves County. That's a pretty big deal. They are their marketing efforts. They have a local marketing company and an outside marketing company, but also the city has agreed to a larger tax funding as well for marketing. So it's going to really help them push that out there and get spectators and people involved and learn more about who we are and get them here to our part of the world. This is a big deal, and we could not have done this without you. And so thank you for that. I know, Commissioner Dana, you're very, very instrumental in helping us recruit those guys here, and we appreciate all that effort. So I think you'll find that you'll continue to see more activity happening between now and then, obviously. We'll see a lot more folks here on the ground in Roswell and Chaves County. We anticipate they'll be down here well before May because there will be erected pylons out there and then another thing. So a lot of activity, and we'll get you out there as often as you're able to with your schedules. This past month, your EDC has been graced with a couple of awards. I want to share that with you. I think you might have seen that in the paper or other areas, but we received an award from the International Economic Development Council, which is an organization, obviously international, organization of economic developers everywhere. And the award was for innovative economic development, and it's because we recruited the air races to Roswell. We also received 2 awards from the state. And the state, at the State Economic Development Conference, Governor's Conference in September, we received 2 awards. One was for our Business Retention Expansion Program, which you've seen that. We average now well over 20 visits to local business people every month, but we received an award for that, and also an award for the Outstanding Rural Project in the state of New Mexico last year for, again, recruiting the air races to New Mexico. We're very honored to receive both of those. I just want to say this last thing, and we're getting near the holidays, and time just goes by so darn fast anymore. And as I said earlier, we could not be successful doing what we're doing without your support and the county support. We realize that an event like the air races is such a significant event, and as a reminder, last year in Reno, well over $158 million in economic impact, 100,000 people. We saw a lot of folks there last week in Reno for just the air show, and it's a small event compared to what we're going to see here next year. But again, we could not do what we do without you and your help, and we appreciate it. I stand for your questions, Commissioners.
Thank you, Mike. Mike, any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Carrie Moore,
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. As stated, my name is Carrie Moore. I am the new director for the Chaves County Health Council. And so I am here just to talk a little bit about what we do, where we're going this year. So for those of you that don't know, what we do is we combine, connect, collect the resources in the county, figure out the healthy needs or the needs to make a healthier economy, or not economy, shoot. All right, I don't know why I speak in front of you guys all the time, but I get nervous once I get behind the podium. And in my head, my voice is cracking, and it just makes it worse. So bear with me. All right, so we try to find a safe community. Shoot, and Valerie's here, and it's making it even worse. I'm going to have to leave now. All right, well, we're going to skip all of that. So we have a couple different programs that we operate. We have the Chaves County 211 resource line, and that's where people can call 211, and we can provide resources to them. The newspaper that you have, this is the first year that we've been able to do a printed copy of the resources, and we handed it out during our expo. We have several copies in our office. We have it online so that people can access it. But it has a list of the resources available throughout the Chaves County, plus some of the national lines. But if people are looking for help, if they need help paying utilities, the groups that help with that are listed in there. If they need to find the 800 number for Alzheimer's because they can't remember that number will be listed in there as well. 211 is an extremely important thing that we have. Sorry, my words get mixed up. I need that Alzheimer's number, by the way. Resource line is very important because my first day with the Health Council was the day the Ruidoso got evacuated. So I'm sitting at home at like 6 o'clock, here there's an evacuation, and then all of a sudden everybody's flooding, oh, call me, I have room, bring your horses here, bring your horses there. And Facebook is just like going nonstop. And these are people that people in Ruidoso don't know. And then you have to try to remember where this information is. And so my head's going, start collecting the data. So I went and I just started, everybody who posted up what they were doing, started collecting it and building a Google Sheet for it and made it available for everybody to access. And every morning, every night, I updated that nonstop. Turns out the New Mexico Emergency Management Disaster Relief people used that, my guide, my resources, to create the emergency management list. And so then they started vetting it out. That alone received, hang on, I know this number. It reached 159,000 people. That's how many people interacted with it. Now, is that individual people? No, that's every time that they collect on the services and stuff. But it's easier for when people are coming into town to remember 211 than to remember a 624 number and all the other 7 digits that go with it. The great thing about that is if you were in Chaves County and you dial 211, you get us. If you got evacuated to the other side of the mountain, and so they went to Las Cruces, when they dialed 211, they got them on that side. So the resources connected up to wherever they were dialing. The bad thing is if you're from Texas and you're trying to get the Texas 211 and you're driving through Chaves County, well, you get me. And I don't really know what you want in Texas. So 211 is an extremely important resource. And then when we have like major events where we're going to bring in some people from out of town, having them come here if they want to know the best place to go get a taco, dial 211, I'll tell you. I know these things. But we can actually connect with those kind of things. And so as people are traveling in, it's easier to remember that 211. And so, again, it's connecting all the resources within the community so that we are bigger, better, and stronger. The other thing that we have done is, this was our 6th year, we held a health expo. This one was a little bit smaller than the ones that we've done in the previous years just because we got pushed back 3 weeks Normally we do it that first weekend in August, but we had over 100 booths, over 50 different individual groups that had their booths, and it was about 750 community residents come through for the event. The great thing about this is not only is it just the resources that's provided for the community, but we were also able to provide mammograms. So the Health Council pays for mammograms every year. So this being our 6th year, we've spent $32,000 on mammograms to provide them free. This year was our first year we were able to do vaccines and flu shots. And so each year we're trying to add more and more services to it, because the whole goal behind that is people who don't have insurance, who can't get to the doctors, it's better to catch things early than when it gets out of hand, because then they go and they hit the indigent funds, which, you guys operate that, so you know how that one works. So if we can provide some of these resources through the expo and get some of their screenings and some of this stuff done, that maybe we can get some of these things caught before things escalate and the prices just jump up there. So, and the resource guide, which is what you guys have there, we hand that out during the expo, so that way they have that listing as they go through there. And that's why you'll see the center of it is the expo, which is kind of weird since it's past. But we're excited and looking forward to the expo for next year, which will be 7 years. The other program that we do is the Together with Veterans program. So this one it's mostly a suicide prevention program, but at the same time, we are building what Chaves County is going to do with the veterans. So right now we're in our building blocks. We're talking with the veterans, their families, the organizations that support the veterans, and the various community members to find out what the needs are in the community so that we can assess those and build a program around that. And I think we're like on a little over a year into that now, and we've got another year on that one, and then we'll start being able to come back with some more exciting things that we're doing with them. And we do have a meeting on Saturday, and if any of you guys want to come and join us and provide information, see what's going on, you're more than welcome to join us. We are also working with the Youth Education and Awareness. In the past, we have done what was called Maze of Life. Basically, it's, the big life game for middle schoolers. But due to funding, not being able to bus the kids out to the college and the teacher shortages and everything that goes along with the school district, we haven't been able to do that one. So we're looking at a new program, and right now we're in the planning blocks of it, but we're kind of like thinking about a resource fair type thing for incoming freshmen, so that way we can navigate how to get through high school between the students and the parents and all the things that they need to know, because sometimes if that's your first kid going into high school, you don't really know what to do with them. Sometimes even if it's your second kid 7 years later going through high school, you still don't know what to do with them. So we're kind of building around that one. We're also working on some food insecurity programs, because we know that Chaves County, children under 5 in Chaves County, 37.9% of Chaves County youth under 5 live in poverty. And that ties into food insecurity. So we are trying to come up with some ideas, and they're not here anymore, so I was just going to throw it out there, but I'm going to have to go talk to the Tamara over at the
Extension.
Thank you. I'm stuck at convention. I'm like, that is so not where I'm going. Over there. And talk to them about their horticulture program, because I'm thinking, community gardens might be a great way to solve a couple different things here and do some of that. We are also working on overdose prevention. And so our program, we have 2.1, 2.3 FTEs. I'll speak y'all's language. So we're a small group. So there's me, then we have our community health worker who is specializes in behavioral health. She is trained to be able to do suicide prevention, awareness, and how you guys can spot and to be able to do that. So she goes out to the schools. She goes anywhere and everywhere to do a lot of suicide trainings and prevention stuff, because we tie it back all to the 988 number. And then we have our part-time employee, which, well, not employee, but our part-time worker with Together with Veterans. And part of this is between everybody overdose, trying to stop some of that, and making sure that we've got the Narcan or the Norlox in all the schools, or with anybody and everybody that needs it. And we're going down to the valley too, so it's not just Roswell, and everybody thinks that all we do is Roswell. I've already gone down to Lake Arthur, Hagerman, and Dexter and talked with them, and I love Rochelle. Just throwing that out there. So we're trying to figure out what they need and how to help them as well. So these are the things that we're doing. We know Chaves County is unique. I mean, there's no way of getting around that. We have our own set of problems and our own set of quirks, I guess is what I would call it. So we have to be unique and figure out how to fix what we need to do here within our organization or within our county. And so this is some of the stuff. We're sitting at like 68 members right now, and we just keep growing. Bill's on our members, so he gets my emails. I try to keep them short and sweet, unlike this speech. Sorry, guys. But I would love for the rest of y'all to join so you can see what it is that we're doing and how we're trying to help, because our whole goal and mission in life is to try to make things better in Chaves County. And when we say health, it's not just your physical health, but your mental health. And sometimes it's your financial health, because your finances tie you back to your mental and everything else that goes with it. So we're trying to be all-encompassing. So that is kind of what I've got going on. I will stand for any questions.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions? Thank you very much.
Disappointed, Mike. I expected a question.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on down the agenda. Agenda item number 1, ratification to sign amendment number 1 and agreement A-24-06.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Agenda item number 1 is the request to approve the ratification of signed amendment number 1 to agreement A-24-006 between Chaves County and J&H Services. A-24-006 is the agreement between Chaves County and J&H Services for the construction services at the Corn Ranch EWP repairs that was approved back in April of 2024. Chaves County has received additional state funding, which has required that our agreement between Chaves County and J&H Service include the clauses that were identified as 11D and 11E in the amendment provided in your packet. This amendment does not change the cost or any other terms or conditions of the agreement, but includes these clauses so that we can utilize the state funds appropriated to this project. Staff and legal has reviewed, and staff recommends approval.
Anyone have any questions?
If you want me to read the clauses, I can go through them. I do have them, if you haven't had the chance to.
Pleasure of the commission. Do y'all want to go through the clauses, or you read them?
Good. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Taylor.
I move to ratify approval of amendment number 1 for A-24-006.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Ezell for approval of the ratification of agreement A-24-006. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item number 2. Alex.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Thank you. Item number 2 is requesting approval for agreement A-24-055 between Chaves County and the NMDOT for transportation project funds. Chaves County was awarded a fiscal year 2025 transportation project fund grant in the amount of $641,250. This agreement requires a 5% match. in the amount of $33,750, totaling up the agreement to $675,000. This application was submitted for East Pine Lodge Road from Red Ridge Road to the Bitter Lakes Gate. And then allocated funds must be spent by June 30th, 2027. Staff recommends approval.
Any questions, discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve Agreement A-24-055 between Chaves County and the New Mexico Department of Transportation for Transportation Project Fund Grant.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Davis, second by Commissioner Perry for approval of Agreement A-24-055. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
And item number 3. Annabelle.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I'm subbing in for my sidekick. She's absorbing all the information from the state auditor's webinar this morning. Agenda item number 3 is Resolution R-24-045, which is a deletion of property and proposed disposition. Approval of this resolution will allow the staff to remove the attached inventory that is listed in Exhibit A. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners? Discussion?
Nothing that's just catching my eye, except for some vehicles
Drake was busy.
and a tire changer. I don't need that. Trying to get rid of, not. Mr. Chairman, I move we approve Resolution R-24-045, deletion of property.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Perry. Perry, y'all get me tickled. To approval of Resolution R-24-045. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Agenda item number
Thank you.
4.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Resolution R-24046, we're requesting ratification supporting an amicus brief on Utah versus United States. This resolution supports Chaves County being co-signatories of an amicus brief with the American Lands Council supporting Utah versus United States, which would require disposition of unappropriated federal lands in the state of Utah. Unappropriated federal lands do not include wildlife refuges, national parks, monuments, military holdings, tribal lands, or other types of appropriated lands. It only includes those lands which the federal government holds that have not been appropriated or approved by Congress. Upon ratification, staff recommends committing funds to assist in the preparation of this brief not to exceed $2,500. And staff would recommend approval of a ratification on this.
Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of Resolution R-24046 to sign on to the amicus brief for Utah v. U.S.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Perry for approval of Resolution R-24-046. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 5 is Resolution R-24047, which would oppose the electric vehicle mandates imposed by the New Mexico Construction Industries Commission. This resolution opposes the mandates by New Mexico Construction Industries Commission, which would require electric vehicle charging provisions be made to residential dwellings and commercial construction projects. Staff recommends approval of this opposition.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Taylor.
I move approval of Resolution R-24-047, opposing electric vehicle mandates imposed by the New Mexico Construction Industries Commission.
Second, but before we vote, Bill, would you explain a little bit about this so maybe it might get in the newspaper?
Yes. One of the things that has been popping up is people are questioning the validity of the process that was used by the New Mexico Construction Industries Commission to impose these rules and then subsequently for the New Mexico Construction Industries Division to enforce these rules. As a county that has a building inspection department, we're required to follow the state rules. There's no problem with that. We, as well as the state, will adopt the current building codes by reference. And that includes such things as the International Electric Conservation Code, which is what this pertains to. The state of New Mexico chose to adopt the 2021 International Electric Conservation Code. They're typically about 3 years behind. The International Code Council creates codes for the residential building codes, for existing buildings, for the plumbing codes, the mechanical codes. All these codes are done each year, well, not each year, but about every third year they have a new cycle. So the 2024 International Electric Conservation Code is actually already in place. However, it's not been adopted by most local governments, municipalities, counties, so on and so forth. The reason that we usually have about a 3-year delay in adopting one of these codes is it allows the people that are in those trades to evaluate what's in the forthcoming code. So the 2024 code, people would have 3 or 4 years. We're usually at least 3 years behind the cycle, the code cycle, before we adopt it. That allows contractors and whatnot to take a look at it and see what fits for our particular communities, and then the states or the entities that are adopting them can amend them to appropriately fit. For instance, 3 or 4 code cycles ago, the International Code Council, the residential code, stated that there would be sprinkler systems in residential construction. So fire sprinkler systems would have to be built in any new house. Well, our people in New Mexico evaluated that and said that's not appropriate for the state of New Mexico, so they removed that from the code. So before they passed the International Residential Code, the IRC, for that particular code cycle, they amended it to say we're not going to do this part. What's unusual in this circumstance is they went to a future code and amended the 2021 code to make it more restrictive on the construction by taking something out of a future code that had not really been evaluated at this point. So they reached out to the 2024 International Electric Conservation Code, which has word for word what has been amended and put into the 2021 code, and kind of fast forwarded that without having that 3 or 4 years for contractors and people who own these buildings to have a chance to take a look at it. One of the things, too, that I felt was important to put into our resolution is this not only affects residential, commercial buildings and a person's business that they want to build or add on to. These kick in not only with new buildings, but once you reach a certain threshold of cost, then you have to bring the entire building up to code. So if you have a 1922 home and you spend more than half the value of the home on it, they're going to make you rewire the entire home. They're going to make you do modern heating, cooling, ventilation, windows, all that stuff. So with that being said, this also affects public entities such as ourselves. We are, responsible for building buildings for our communities, municipalities, counties, the state. This will also affect them. So the requirement to put 5% of electric vehicle charging stations at every county-owned, public-owned building, whether you're going to use them or not, you have to supply the infrastructure. You have to wire it. You can't just say, okay, those spaces are set aside for this. They have to be ready to go. And so that's been kind of the rub with the people that I've talked to. And of course, as the county, we will enforce the rules as required by the Construction Industries Division. We have no choice but to do that. However, the way that this was adopted, I think, has been in question by a lot of people throughout the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
And at the last legislative session, maybe the last 2 sessions, a bill was introduced to make this statutory. And the legislature, believe it or not, flatly rejected it. And so the governor's office is trying to do it to bypass the legislature because he didn't get it into law by an executive order to the CID to change their rule. And that should not happen. There's this thing we have that's called separation of powers. We have 3 different branches of government for a reason. So thank you for your explanation, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you. Need to vote on this.
Yep.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 6.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 6 is Resolution R-24-048, which is a budget adjustment resolution for fiscal year 2025. We're requesting a budget adjustment for the line items that are in Exhibit A. There's various things like an increase in uniform line for the Sheriff's Department that was funded by a donation, the Keep Chaves County Beautiful grant, an American Rescue Plan Act grant for an IT switch and engineering services for the Red Bridge project, an increase for 3 vehicles for the Sheriff's Department that was funded by the auctioned vehicles, an increase in internet service for the Flood Department, and an increase in supplies for the Sheriff and Detention Center that has been funded by the IPRA fees that they have collected for the quarter. Staff recommends approval.
Anyone have any questions, comments?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept Resolution R-24-048, budget adjustment for FY 2024-2025.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Daniels, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of Resolution R-24-048. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 7 is a resolution R-24049, which would support the filing of an amicus brief with the Arizona-New Mexico Coalition of Counties to support the Utah versus United States case to determine the legality of the United States' vast holdings of unappropriated lands in the state of Utah. The cost Chaves County will contribute to preparing the brief will not exceed $500. We would recommend approval of Resolution R-24049. And if I could add the difference between this and the other resolution, we've been asked to join both of these amicus briefs. We've been partners with both of these entities for years. The American Lands Council is actually directly tied to the lawsuit, and that's why the dollar amount to give them to prepare this is a little higher. And this one is Arizona, New Mexico counties, which we deal with all the time. They've asked for a small contribution because this is being divided up amongst all the people that are members, and they're not working on the trial along with the funds. They're just creating the amicus brief, which will be written by Karen Bud Fallon is working on that for the Arizona, New Mexico counties. I stand for any additional questions.
Any questions, Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of Resolution R-24049 to sign on with New Mexico, Arizona Coalition of Counties in their amicus brief for Utah v. U.S.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of Resolution R-24-049. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 8, I'm honored to once again bring forth Resolution R-24050, which would support Operation Greenlight for veterans. This resolution is requesting support for Operation Greenlight for veterans to honor their immeasurable sacrifices to preserve our freedoms. Operation Greenlight for Veterans salutes and honors veterans who have transitioned from active service. Upon passage of this resolution, Chaves County will display green lights in both the Chaves County Courthouse and the administration buildings for the month of November. And additionally, we ask that people shine green lights on their front porch or whatever throughout the month to honor our veterans. And staff would recommend approval. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Taylor.
I move approval of Resolution R-24-050 supporting Operation Greenlight for veterans.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Ezell for approval of Resolution R-24-050. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
And item number 9.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners. Agenda item number 9 is a request. It's for the waiving the road cut permit fee on behalf of Berendo Co-op Water Users Association, Inc. The Chaves County right-of-way use permit ordinance requires that road pavement excavations in excess of 24 inches be approved by the Chaves County Board of Commissioners. Normally, or ideally, this would be done prior to an excavation. However, occasionally, Berindo Co-op Water Users Association needs to repair water lines on emergency. The following right-of-way permits listed at the bottom were requested. Water lines repaired and the roadway was repaired in accordance with ordinance number 44 requirements. Angelo Gurley of the Chaves County Road Department inspected both, and approved trench repairs were made to acceptable condition. Below you see permit number 2564 is at 3937 Spring Branch Road, and Cottonwood Road. And then permit number 2566 is at 3761 Spring River Road. And there's kind of associated fees with those.
Anyone have any questions for Alex?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we waive the road cut permit fee for Berindo Cooperative Water Users Association.
A second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Perry for approval to waive the road cut permit fee. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Mr. Chairman, and just for clarification, that's for both,
Yes.
both permits.
Okay.
Yes.
Both
Thank you.
Sorry,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. I will
Thank
pass
you.
that message along.
Agenda item number 10.
Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 10 is the request to purchase a Pierce 3,000-gallon BXT tanker for Midway Volunteer Fire Department from Siddons Martin Emergency Group. Midway VFD has requested to purchase this Pierce 3,000-gallon BXT tanker from Siddons Martin in the amount of $607,058. State Fire Marshal has reviewed the specifications and approved the purchase for Midway VFD. The purchase will be procured through a New Mexico State Price Agreement number 10-00000-21-00101AF. Funds will be allocated from the Chaves County Replacement Fund in the amount of $437,102 and from the Midway Fire Funds in the amount of $169,956. Staff recommends approval.
Anyone have any questions?
Like trading anything in?
We are not at this time. No, not at this time.
Yeah, we need some more auction items.
There a motion?
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve agenda item 10 with the request to purchase a Pierce 3,000-gallon BXT tanker for the Midway Volunteer Fire Department from Siddons Martin Emergency Group.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Dana to approval request to purchase a Pierce 3,000-gallon BXT tanker. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item number 11.
Good morning. Agenda item 11 is the request for out-of-state travel. The request is for approval for out-of-state travel for Lieutenant Kimberly Segovia to attend the Decriminalizing Mental Health meeting held in Miami, Florida on December 5th through the December 6th. This training is to reduce the recidivism rate of our jail as well as to help the citizens of Chaves County. This request is for travel, meals, lodging, and airfare. Staff recommends it.
That's in December.
It was scheduled for October, and due to the hurricanes, I had to push that back to December, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the out-of-state travel request.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Dana for approval of out-of-state travel. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to thank Mr. Briscoe for sending her. You went, I've gone, you enjoyed it, you learned a lot. I think this is, the more information we can get out to our law enforcement and to you, this will help our jail, I believe, in the end, and hopefully you believe too. So thank you very much for your input and also believing in something that we can actually see and we know that works. We don't have to reinvent anything. So I appreciate your input. Thank you.
Approval of checks.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of checks in the amount of $3,775,247.72.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Dana for approval of checks. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of reports.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve reports.
Second.
Is that Dick?
Yes.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of reports. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We'll move into our unscheduled communications, limited to 3 minutes per visitor, not to exceed 15 minutes. No formal action is taken by the commission. How about Mr. Clements?
Marvin Clements, 6102 Kincaid. I've been up here every month, and it's not changing. Guys, they still stripping cars out there at my house, okay, right there down the street. They take a car down there, they flip it over, they take the motor out, they do this, they do that, they have the body out there, they haul the frame off, they tug over scrap iron, whatever. At least they don't take an axe and chop the body up in the middle of the night. But it's stuff that's still going on. They're utilizing somebody else's property, this Chips kid that lives over there, to do this. This Van Zant property. I passed out a piece of papers and pictures to Mike, Bill. They got these cars over there, they strip them, whatever the heck they do, they haul them off, whatever. That's not cool. They cannot, we have regulations in this state says you cannot have a scrap iron place, can't take parts off cars, sell them, stuff like that. You have to have a license. Well, nobody's doing nothing about the license. I got a neighbor over there that's got 15 junk cars. I don't know what's being done. I don't know, just, hey, oh, he's an old man, just let him do it, whatever he wants to. It's running down my property value. At least the guy with the 15 junk cars ain't out there all hours of the night chopping cars up, but it's a junk pile. We have rules. We got people over at 209 West Hobson, this Brakeman property, living in motorhomes. There's a whole bunch of odd people. They come and go, different people. At nighttime, they walk down the alley from Alsop's, walk right down the alley by my house. The neighbor lady's so scared, she got 3 big old mean dogs, and they bark and raise hell all the time because of these people walking down the alley. Well, I thought that it might help the problem. I went over to the city side, that big old chain link fence along Hobson, and fixed all the holes that people had cut through the fence so that it'd eliminate them people going over to the base. Well, I guess it did help a little bit, but it's still a big old mess out there. You can't have all these people living in these motorhomes or travel trailers and in these shacks and all that kind of stuff. Their waste, what are they doing with their waste? I mean, you're talking about number twos and whatever. They're peeing and booping on the streets out there in the property. That's not cool. We're trying to clean that neighborhood up right there behind me, behind Alsop's, for when the air show is going to show up. What do you think them people are going to do? They're going to come from that air show, go right over to Alsop's and spend money. They're going to drive straight down my street, right over to the air show, and it's going to look like a bunch of junk. As of now, because of all the trash and junk that's in my neighborhood, right up around the corner of Lee and Hobson, we got a house up there that's supposed to be condemned and it's going to demo it and all that. Well, because of the junk pile all around that neighborhood, people just feel like they can just come and use that property to throw out tires. There is 15 or 20 truck tires on the right-of-way. They've been there for 2 months. I'm hard-headed old shit. I decided I wasn't going to say anything. I thought maybe the sheriff's department would say something, because they cruise by there all the time. Nobody said nothing. So I brought some pictures to y'all. I'd like to have something done, condemn some properties, pass out some citations, do something, make these people quit running down my neighborhood. This young man right here lives a neighbor, and he agrees with it. It's nothing but a problem over there. All these people drive up and down that street, hauling ass on that motorcycle, all hours of the night. Well, I know everybody can't tell the people, oh, you can't drive that motorcycle. Well, that's okay. But it's all the odd people that's living down there. They come and go. They live in tents. They have no water, no electricity down there at this Chips property, which is at 302 Ryan Road. There's no water, no electricity. No sewer. I can't get the environmentalist people to say that you can't, they got to have a septic system. It says in the laws that if you buy a piece of property, you have to have an approved septic system.
Mr. Clements, I'll give you 5 minutes out of this,
I'm
but
finished.
we
I've
here,
already
but
griped enough,
we appreciate you
That's
coming.
okay.
Thank you.
Cut me off. It's okay.
No, well, no.
Hey, that's
some
okay. I can
others
sit
gotta
here and
talk
tell
to
you talk for hours.
Yeah.
I was trying to get my point across, so thank you.
But we appreciate it. Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Rita? Nothing?
Chairman, Commissioners, going to give you a brief update on 6207 Devonian. Mr. Noriega's property, I went out and visited. I was scheduled for an appointment with him at noon, at which time he canceled. Figured something was up, so I went by after work and found a number of people moving things around quickly, trying to dispose of some things quickly. But in my professional opinion, I think as a commission, we have to prepare to take this property over and clean it. He is not going to fulfill his obligation. This has been 2 months and nothing has been done. And he's added more. He's actually, instead of a regular generator you could buy at Harbor Freight, he's put in an industrial generator for those RVs that they're living in. And they were trying to move it before I showed up, so I have photos of it. So I don't think it's going to get any better with him. Dealing with the south area, those properties are going to be brought before you as possible condemnation. We are informing the residents of those properties that their property is in consideration. That will be, I have to bring the ordinance permission to advertise first, and then we'll look at it in December. So, and then with road department's assistance, we'll begin cleaning up in December, January, and February. And of course, the sheriff's department, right with us. So.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Louis, where are we on the timeline in our agreement and then extended agreement with Noriega?
December. Our December meeting will be, either he will have it cleaned or he'll be asking for an extension.
Okay.
Or you give it over to me.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, managers. Comments.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, it's been a great week here in Chaves County, great month. Done a lot of good stuff, working on a lot of things. First thing I'd like to do is I'd like to recognize and congratulate Ms. Rincon again. It takes a lot of effort to become the 4-H queen, so I hear. And anyway, real proud of her and the job that she's going to be doing. Also want to point out how good it was to go to the fair. I always enjoy going to the fair and seeing the 4-H and getting to eat my ice cream over there and seeing the pigs. That's my main thing anytime I go to the fair, and that's what I always like to do. I do want to point out that court compliance, that was a really nice presentation that the people did, and again, I'd like to thank you for that. We took a portion of a building that was not being used, had no intent to use it. Fortunately, when the courthouse was remodeled, they thought ahead and they left basically a knockout in the wall so that we could access it from the main courthouse. It made it a lot easier. But the end result was real good, and the staff is very happy to have a new place in such a prime location for what they do. And they really do reach a lot of our community and do a lot of good work. Thanks to all of them. Be sure and pass that along, Annabelle. Operation Greenlight for veterans. We will have a proclamation for veterans on Veterans Day. We also will have a Veterans Day presentation by the DAR, and I'm sure that Dara will talk a little bit more about that when she gets up. We're looking forward to that. We are not going to have a special meeting for that day, but we certainly invite everyone. And if we could have, it's a community event, so just if more than 2 commissioners were to arrive, just don't bunch up and we're fully covered. But I do want to point out that we are going to have a pretty significant presentation on Veterans Day for the veterans, and along with that we'll do the proclamation for them, and probably maybe even read out the Operation Greenlight thing too, to remind the citizens that we need to support our veterans and show our thankfulness for them. On the 12th, the day after Veterans Day, I'll be speaking at the Hagerman FFA Alumni Anniversary. We will have a proclamation for them. They were one of the very first FFA chapters in the state of New Mexico, but they're certainly one of the very first in the nation. They were established, the Hagerman chapter was established November the 12th, 1929. The actual Future Farmers of America were established in November of 1928. So they were within the first year of chapters being introduced, and we were number 8 charter in the state of New Mexico. They have a copy of their charter that they found, and that's why we're celebrating on that day. Commissioner-elect Wade and I both served on the Hagerman FFA chapter, and we'll be glad to be there and represent the county, and we invite anyone else that wants to see a great group of kids working hard. November 1st, Leadership Roswell will be here for County Day at Chaves County, so Commissioner Dana, Commissioner Perry are both going to be here to speak with them, as well as department heads, and they'll do a tour of the building. The sheriff always gives them a really exciting tour, and they get to see the actual Tommy gun a lot of times if they're lucky. That's a pretty fun thing to do. One other project that we've got ongoing that we want to thank you for, we're in the process of getting it done, and that's putting the exterior cameras at the detention center. We've been working on upgrading the exterior on the detention center, and agreed. Mr. Briscoe has mentioned to us, well, the prisoners don't actually go outside, but we still need to secure the outside of the jail, and we've done so. We've put up razor wire. We've got it completely fenced off where people cannot get in there. We've found out that they were coming in because there's no cameras, no stuff, and they knew where they could slip drugs through, the walls and stuff like that for people to pick up. So we've got it fenced off with razor wire. So last week we found that there were holes cut in the fence and they did, were able to ascertain that the people lost their nerve after they got the holes cut in the fence, but we've got that fixed, and we will have cameras there very soon with motion sensors on it, so that the second that they walk in there, it starts recording exactly who they are, and there's multiple cameras. So thank you for that. Thank you for keeping our community safe with initiatives just like that. But thank you for all you do for us. Thank you to all the staff who do a wonderful job. I see Charlotte came in. We're going to miss you. Won't be long now, but thank you for all that you do. Thank you for what you're going to do. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Bill. Commissioner Perry.
In the
I'll follow with Mr. Williams there, thanking people. I just wanted to say I appreciate this voting update. Thank you, Ms. Cindy, for providing that for us. And the updated plans, Mr. Lewis, on what's going on up north. I appreciate that, and the recommendations. That's always nice to hear that you guys are on top of that situation. And then I was just made aware by Mr. Williams that somebody changed my life here, and I think it's you, Alex. You put those little numbers next to our agenda there on this, and sometimes we got to go through 166 pages of stuff, and he put like page 57 as agenda item 5. And boy, you can just go right there. You changed my life, buddy. Thank you. So I'd like to make you honorary, like rocket scientist status for like a week, if we could.
All right.
Everybody vote. Appreciate it.
Mr. Taylor.
I just like to say, on Veterans Day and this Green Light project, as a veteran, I sure urge all of our citizens to put out the green light, put some type of paper or buy a green light and in front of your homes to honor our veterans, the veterans that served our country and did so much for us. Cindy, I also appreciate this voting update. I'd like to ask, how does this turn out at this point in time compared to, say, 4 years ago? Are we about the same, up or down?
About the same. In 2016, we had a 60% total turnout, and in 2020, we had a 64%. So if you do the math, we're kind of the same along there. Voting will start Saturday at the mall, so I'm hoping those numbers jump up a bit.
Very good. And I just urge everybody to go out and vote. And this property out here, I have, during the past month, I did drive out there and take a look at this, and this is disgusting what is existing out there. And Lewis, I hope that there is some actions we can take if there's a violation of code, if these people can be cited, or if we can condemn some of this property, because this is just isn't acceptable out there. That's all I have.
Commissioner Dana?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, staff, Annabelle. Thank you, Cindy. I was kind of curious about these, and I've had some questions from people. And it's like, I don't know. I was voter number 261, so I did my part. So had someone say, gosh, yesterday or the day before, they were voter number 1,600. So that's pretty good. Good, but we need more. As we can see by the change in the weather, don't just think, okay, well, I can go. We've had snowstorms happen on Election Day, so get out and vote early. It's banked, it's in there, it's ready to go, so you can do whatever you need to do. I've been a caller on many election days, and people say, oh, is that today? And it's like, oh, really, you forgot it was today, so yes, be sure and get out and vote. Going to follow up a little bit with what Bill said. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everybody. We approached Bill. I am the regent for the Roswell chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. This is something that our national came up with, doing Project America 250, celebrating America's 250th birthday in 2026, but we're starting the celebration now. We decided, along with El Portal chapter, Sierra Blanca, and Thomas Jefferson chapter, to go in and buy a bronze plaque, and we're going to dedicate that plaque on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn on Veterans Day on November 11th at 1 p.m. Everybody is invited. This is just a celebration of our first true veterans and patriots of this great nation. And so we just wanted to give back, and so grateful to the other three chapters that they decided. They all came and looked at what we had on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. They all were in agreement that this was a great location. We got the plaque in. It was very heavy. Thank you, Bill, for bringing it in. I didn't realize it was going to be that heavy. Bill and Facilities Maintenance are working on the plaque. It's going to be on the lawn next to the Gold Star garden plaque that they put in many years ago. And so I just encourage everyone to come and celebrate our original veterans, I guess you could say. And that'll be, again, Monday, November the 11th at 1 p.m. on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. So we have a great staff. When we come to our staff and we have questions, whether it be constituents or stuff going on, they are always very helpful, and we sure appreciate it. We appreciate everything that our staff does. Again, I attended New Mexico County's board meeting in Los Alamos. I hadn't been to Los Alamos in quite some time. It's talk about history. If you watch the Oppenheimer movie, you know what history that we have in Los Alamos. New Mexico has some great history and some beautiful locations, and it was wonderful. But it's wonderful to come back to Chaves County because you listen to all of the other counties and the problems that they're having, and it's sure nice to come home and say thank you to our staff. We have wonderful staff, and we have a wonderful county, and I really appreciate each and every one of you and the citizens of this great county too. You guys make this place wonderful to come home to. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Ezell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just thanks to everybody for all the hard work, all the departments. Everything's going really well. Lewis, thank you for the update on Mr. Noriega. I encourage us to take the steps we have to when December rolls around. And with respect to Mr. Clement's situation, I would ask Lieutenant Drake and the sheriff and undersheriff to do whatever they can to increase patrols, set up surveillance, do something to see if we can't catch somebody that's actually doing something illegal to where they can be prosecuted. So, because Lewis is going to get it condemned, but the process takes a while, and I'd like to show Mr. Clements that we don't think he's wasting his time coming here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Chairman.
Of course, I always want to thank everybody for their hard work, and Commissioner Ezell, thank you for picking up the slack for me last month, and wish everyone would go talk to 10 people and ask them to vote. It's a pretty important election. So anyway, with that, we'll adjourn the meeting to sign some documents. Thank you.